We are live on YouTube. All right. Today we're talking about high notes. We're talking about reliable high notes versus unreliable high notes and some very important tools to help you turn unreliable high notes into reliable high notes. So as you know, with me, it's never just a technique thing. It's never just a skill set thing. If you are having trouble with high notes, it is not just because you don't have the range or the correct technique going on. That may be true, but there is also a mind-body component to reliable high notes. So we're going to be talking about both today. So first, I'm going to give you a technique tool. I am somebody who coaches not just on your physiology and understanding your physiology, but also directing the energy of your physiology where you want it to go. And what we have to understand for technique in high notes is that we need the right amount of resonance space, meaning space between your ears, in your soft palate, the shape of your soft palate, the hard palate, the inside space inside your buccal cavity, your mouth, right? We need the right amount of resonance space for the note, for the high note you're going to sing, and we need the right amount of support, meaning breath support for the note you're going to sing. And the higher I go in my range, whether it's, let me rephrase that. The higher I go in each register of my range, meaning the higher I go in my chest voice and the higher I go in my head voice, the more resonance space and support I need. So when you're thinking about moving up in your range, and I want you to just play with it on what I call a siren, which is just a very simple, like any value you want. Could be an E, could be an up, ooh, pick your vowel. Okay, I'm going to do it on an E. E. Okay, you do I siren up and I siren down. And what I'm thinking as I'm sirening through my registers all the way to the top of my range is I'm thinking about increasing my resonance space, pulling up on my soft palate in the space between my ears. And I'm also thinking about leaning down further in the muscles of support into my obliques and my lower abs and my pelvic floor. I am doing those two things simultaneously, increasing the opposition of those two things as I rise through my range. Yee! So if I want to sing a really, really high note, and I have a pretty high voice when I'm in my operatic range, if I'm going to start on a high note, let's say I have to come in on, I don't know, whatever the note is, A above the staff, C above the staff. I have to come in, if I want that note to ring and be there for me every single time consistently and reliably, I have to know how high to bring the shape and space of my resonance and how low to take my muscles of support. So if I'm like super like feeling my ears widening away from each other and pulling up the inside resonance space and sending my support low in the opposite direction. If I'm rising on a pitch, let's say I'm going to do the octave from here to there, right? I'm going to increase that as I rise. And it's the same thing if you're in chest voice. If I'm going to go from here to here, right? I'm doing the exact same thing. Okay. So number one technique tool for more reliable high notes is understanding the shape and space you need in your resonance and the amount of support and increasing those things as you rise in either register all the way up through your range. The second tool that I want to give you today for more reliable, consistently reliable high notes is don't hit the brakes. Okay, this is a mindset tool. A lot of you get scared of the high note. And so you're singing the phrase, you're moving along, your support is fine, your resonance space is fine, everything is moving as it should be. And then all of a sudden the high note comes and you hit the brakes because you get scared. Fear causes you to it's like, the Roadrunner in the cartoon, he's like running down and then all of a sudden you're like, right? That's like what you guys do in your body when you get scared. And so even if the high note does scare you, in order for your brain and that fear not to sabotage that high note, you've got to create a new belief, a new frame for your mind around that high note, or else that fear comes in and your body's going to respond to it and it's going to hit the brakes. And that opposition that I was just talking about, it's going to get interrupted. And you will move into either fight or flight. You will either try to fight, which means I'm going to get that high note. And so then you like overdo and push and force and manipulate. And that beautiful opposition that you had going on out the window. So now you've created the high note that you didn't want. Or the opposite happens. You flee when you hit the brakes, meaning you're fine, you're doing your opposition, you're increasing your support, you're increasing your resonance base as you go for that high note, and then you get scared, and then you hit the brakes, you back away, right? Either way, whether it's fight or flight, that fear causes you to hit the brakes and interrupts the technique that is otherwise there for you. And when that happens, now the high note doesn't come and you go, oh my God, it's my range, it's my this, it's my that. No, it's not. You just got to learn how to reframe your mind so that it doesn't convince your body that you're scared and you need to do something. So what we do in that circumstance, I tell this to my singers in our intensive training program all the time, is go towards what you're afraid of. Don't hit the brakes. Go towards what you're afraid of. Everything you want is just on the other side of your fear. Everything you want is just on the other side of your comfort zone. And so it might be a little uncomfortable not to hit the brakes, not to want to over control, micromanage, manipulate, force, control, whatever, right? Because you're used to that when you get scared. And most of us, it's like danger, and you want to stop and you want to change something. In this instance, it is your fear that is causing your struggle on the high note. So as long as you understand the good technique and you know how to create the good breath support and the good resonance and the good opposition between those two, if those high notes are still struggling for you, it is a mindset thing, and you are, metaphorically speaking, hitting the brakes and interrupting that technique that otherwise would be there for you. So you get to shift your thinking, because changing thinking changes your singing. Your body is responding to what your brain is telling it. And so if you tell yourself, I'm going towards what I'm afraid of, everything I want is just on the other side of this fear. And then there you go, big ol' high note, not a problem, okay? So this type of coaching, right? This type of, as I'm coaching you right now, this idea of there's a skill set tool and there is a mindset tool. This is what we call 360 training. This is what transformational vocal training is. And this is what I do. This is what I am the best in the world at. If you get to know me, you'll know that I don't play the false humility game. Like when I say we are the best in the world at this, you guys, this is how we transform singers. Understanding 360 training is something that most singers are not used to, because traditional training doesn't teach you this way. And so this is why coming up on May 11th, I'm doing a free 6-day, what we call Pro Singer Career Accelerator Masterclass series. Starts May 11th, to help you guys understand that there is a different way to train. There is a different way to get results in a faster, more reliable manner that gives you the edge to then go do everything that you want to do in your singing career. And so it's been almost a year. I can't even believe it. It's been almost a year since I did the last 6-day free masterclass series. So if you missed the Career Accelerator last time, if you have never been to it, if you're ready for a new set of breakthroughs, this is your chance to understand, for example, why you have all this training, but you're still not breaking through in your singing career. You're not booking elite gigs despite all of your vocal training and performance experience, and how to fix it. You're going to understand the secret weapon in order to stand out from the competition and be able to do that every single time. We're going to go into game-changing technique innovations to build you consistency and high-level performance impact, so that you get to take my mantra, which is anywhere, anyone, anytime, bring it. Like when I go to open my mouth, I know what's going to come out, and I know that it's going to rock because I've trained my mind and body together in this 360 way. And this is what we're going to be doing in the Pro Singer Career Accelerator in this 6-day workshop. And I'm going to teach you how to use these energetic sound direction techniques. Like if you were listening to me talk about this today and be like, wait, what, Arden, opposition? Wait, I don't understand how to do that. Or wait, you're talking about breast support like in your obliques? Like, wait, I don't understand that. We're going to get into details, like we're going deep on breast support, on resonance, on opposition, on energetic sound direction techniques to deliver your best singing when it counts, no matter who is listening, no matter how big your audience is, or no matter how much is at stake in that moment. That's why I say anyone, anywhere, anytime, bring it. Okay. So this is 6 days, 90 minutes a day for free, because as I said, I want you guys to stop suffering with training that doesn't work. And I want you to understand there is a different way to train that gives you the edge to break through in your singing career. And I don't want you to have to take my word for it. I want you to come experience it for free, because every singer should know this. So I'm putting the link in the chat so that you can register. It is free. Like I said, there is a $97 VIP upgrade if you really want the breakthroughs. That is available to you as well. So if you are watching on Facebook, I'm putting it in the chat. If you are watching on YouTube, it is in the video description, the link to register for this next free workshop. All right, you guys. I am outie. I got to go back to my studio. I'm live from my dining room today because I was rushing. So it doesn't matter, right? Technique tips can happen from anywhere. So I will see you guys next time. Join me for the 6-day free workshop. Register again, link in the chat and Facebook, link in the description of the video copy on YouTube, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.